Alright, hello and good evening once again. It is a boy named Sue, coming at you live straight from Big Potato. Continuing Disco Elysium. Sorry I had to run off for a while, get some things done. We're still gonna squeeze in a little bit of time for our chill Sunday tonight and play a little bit more. So without further ado, we're just gonna jump right into it. Pick drum pulse. Music is coming from somewhere on the ice. Money, 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 money. That's always welcome, even though have free accommodations now. That's nice, but still want money. I want to check this out before we go anywhere else. Okay, look at the purple thing. Look at the purple thing. Look at... There you go. You feel the shadow of a very large building fall on you. The sign reads St. Brune 1147.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. The rectangular sea-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to the padlock, carelessly drilled into the wood.
Rattle the doors.
Nothing happens, only the sound of the padlock rattling against the door.
I don't think that's going to work. Do you think our suspect is hiding inside?
He raises his sight to the darkened windows overhead. She might be. It's worth checking out anyway.
The lieutenant nods, silently. High above, the wind wraps the church in its rush, cold and wet from the ocean bay. It parts around the massive keel-shaped roof, like a test tunnel washing both sides, the way it has done for 340 years. The wind keeps its distance. So should you.
What is this feeling?
There is a hole in my heart.
The lieutenant looks at the padlock. He didn't hear you asking. You were quiet enough.
Inspect the carpentry.
The carving on the door is block-like and angular, like the church itself. Two large beams shoot downwards, sinking into the wood before they reach the threshold.
Run your hand over the beam.
The surface is smooth from the wind, but moist to the touch.
Take a closer look at the padlock.
This cheap-looking padlock is sturdily built. It shackles together a hasp and a staple screwed into the wooden door. The lock is adorned with a yellow sticker. It'll be easier to break the staple than the lock. Also, that sticker is interesting, somehow.
Look at the sticker.
You see a yellow circle with two X's and a big curve below them that looks like a mouth. You're pretty sure you haven't seen it before, but what the symbol depicts is clear enough. A smiling dead guy. The curve makes it smile, and the X's make it dead.
Have you seen this symbol before?
He takes off his glasses and uses a blue handkerchief to thoroughly wipe them clean before inspecting the sticker. Then he looks up, pauses, and replies.
No.
What does it look like to you?
Looks like a dead man smiling. Suggests junior delinquency.
What is a junior delinquency?
For Revachol aussi, the moral intern defined junior delinquents as minors between the ages of 10 and 16 who have committed an act in violation of the law. These acts aren't called crimes as they would be for adults. Crimes committed by minors are called delinquent acts. This was part of your officer's exams.
He puts the handkerchief in his coat pocket. What is suggestive of junior delinquency here?
I haven't seen that sticker before, and I'm not a youth.
Thus, it must be made by youths.
Try to peel off the sticker without ripping it.
There's nothing like the sound of a sticker unpeeling. Now it's stuck to your thumb.
Put the sticker in your ledger after the last entry where it belongs.
Looks like today was a gold star day.
Inspect the staple.
The padlock passes through a staple that's been hastily attached to the wood. Closer inspection reveals that one of the screws is not a screw at all, but a nail. The work has been done recently and is unprofessional, to say the least. Should you want to get through, it might be easier to just pry the whole thing off.
This is where Mr. Prybar comes in handy.
Maybe we should circle the building first and look for another way. The building has seen enough mistreatment.
There is a touch of guilt in his voice.
Should we start with that kick drum coming from the ice? I heard a sound before.
Yes, the pulsing bass. A sure sign of junior delinquency. Some
Dusty pews in the shadows. Many seem to be missing. An altar shrouded in dark, or something like that. It's too dark to tell. It starts playing music. I really like the music in this game. Said to check out the east over there on the ice. So let's check that out before we go up this way. We'll check out that sound of the bass drum or whatever, you know. We walk across here. Painted with pastels. Someone is trying to bring cheer to the world. Looks like bottles up here, huh?
You see that seagull up there? Remind you of anybody?
Me?
Exactly.
Why am I like a seagull?
Think about the seagull's story. It's one of endurance and adaptation. The seaside was paradise once. They were birds of that paradise. Then their paradise became Shit City. And what did they do? They became urban survivors, eating burgers out of trash cans, killing and eating pigeons. No time for that sentimental bullshit. They're hustlers, getting shit done. They're one pair of track pants away from gangsters, just like you.
I guess I am a bit like a seagull.
Exactly. The seagull does what it takes, and so do you. You've got that same spirit in you. When the time comes, you push yourself. A shaggy-looking girl in her late teens or early 20s kneels on the ice with an electronic contraption in her hand. Hearing you approach, she looks up.
Oh, hello there.
It's cold out here, but she's not wearing a hat. She must be freezing. Everyone knows drugs make you invulnerable to cold. You bet this one likes to party.
Dear child, it's freezing. Where's your hat?
Huh?
She looks up at you, distracted.
Maybe she didn't hear you. A little louder.
I said you should have a hat on.
So should you.
You don't have to do anything.
I should, and I do.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
It's nice. You should wear one too if you plan on staying outside in this weather.
Yeah, well... Look, man, fuck the hat.
Your pulse rises. What did she just say? That's not how a civilian is supposed to address an officer of the law.
Is that kind of language really necessary?
I'm sorry I said fuck the hat. I was concentrating on something else. My whole family swears and it rubbed off on me.
There's a pained expression on her face. She'll answer your questions now. Have you seen a red-haired woman around?
No,
Just no?
it's pretty desolate here. I only hear the dogs bark at night and see the shadows move down the coast.
Long shadows, short shadows, quiet shadows of local children, loud shadows drunks, and also a shadow made of sticks. You breathe on your hands for warmth.
What's your name?
A cell.
Her hair is dyed blonde, with dark roots showing. There's a coarseness to her features, some masculinity below that timidness.
And your surname?
Why?
I'm from the police. It's for paperwork.
Okay, it's Berger.
A very common name. You have little reason to doubt that's her real name. But she's not all that surprised by this cop show questioning, is she?
What's that device you have there?
This is a portable recording device. It's for field recording. Low quality, but still.
And the wires?
Actually, just one wire. I picked on it till the braiding came loose. The wire leads to a contact microphone.
What's a contact microphone?
A contact mic records sounds from inside things, like this ice.
Your mangled brain would like you to know there is a boxer called Contact Mike.
Yeah? Any news on my wife's name? How about my mom?
No, you're welcome.
Does this have anything to do with Contact Mike?
Yeah, I record stuff with it.
No, I mean the boxer Contact Mike.
No. This is a contact microphone. It's for recording inside solid objects. Contact mic just beats people up.
That's not fair. And an understatement.
You know, Contact Mike doesn't just beat people up. Contact Mike is a role model. On second thought, screw Contact Mike. He's not a champion. You are. Look at you here in front of a saggy tent, picking your nose to drug act music. The world of sports is in awe of your faith and dedication.
Man, you are one weird cop.
I'd say that I'm just about normal. Now about that Mike. Not Mike. Mike.
You do understand it all just sounds like Mike to me, right?
How does that thing work?
The mic? I don't exactly know. Somehow it doesn't pick up vibrations from the air. The book said it only picks up structure-borne sound, if you like technobabble.
Where'd you get the mic from?
Same place I got the recorder from, the Palaceum.
What's the Palaceum?
Oh man, you haven't been to the Palaceum? It's the coolest place in this whole drug-addled shithole.
She forgets herself for a moment.
It's a music club and a synthesizer workshop on Boogie Street in Jamrock. Musicians live there, like real musicians. I once saw Arno van Eyck.
Thinking about it really cheers her up. It's a long way from here, though.
Sounds interesting. Who is this Arno guy?
Oh yeah, guess you wouldn't know Van Eyck. Or really be a Palaceum going kind of person.
She looks you over, assessing your age.
Hey, didn't Piss and Fuck the World mention Van Eyck too?
Is it like a skull thing?
A skull thing? Man, you sound like 100 years old when you say that.
No, you don't. She's mistaken you for an old person. Say you're cool.
I get down.
I don't know what that means.
I grind.
I don't know what that means either.
Nor do I, but I have concrete evidence that I rock, in the form of a rec tape player and a completely trashed hostel room.
That's cool.
She breathes on her fingers. Looks like she doesn't know what to say. You're right, time has deserted me.
Sucks, man. Was there something else? About the contact mic, perhaps?
Actually, I had some non-mic questions for you.
Okay.
What are you doing out here in the cold?
Recording, I guess.
And what is it that you're recording exactly?
I think I'm recording cracks in the ice, but there's no way to tell. Not without headphones. I think I just recorded your footsteps too. Not sure how that will sound.
She scratches her forehead. Wait, what happened to the headphones?
My boyfriend sold them.
What for?
I don't know, man. Things. Just stuff you need for life.
Everything checks out, sire.
Yeah, no, drugs probably. And what are these recordings for? The cracks, the footsteps?
The musicians in the Palaceum used them for making music. They looped the stuff, cutting the tapes together. They make music out of cracks in the ice and keys jangling. Crazy sounds like that. It's hard to explain.
Just nod.
Anyway, I thought I'd make some too. It's supposed to be, like, a music place anyway.
She rubs her shoulders and looks around.
The girl is cold all of a sudden. Very cold.
I don't really know what I'm doing. They use synthesizers too. I don't have a synthesizer.
She looks at the recording device, the thing she thought would fill her hours with joy and escape. It's turning out to be an empty fantasy. She feels childish, very useless all of a sudden. She is on some kind of stimulant, amphetamine or methadone, and its effects are wearing off fast. She will begin to experience more and more valleys now, and fewer peaks.
Take this, you're cold.
The lieutenant begins to take off his jacket.
No, man, fuck that, I'm cool. I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry about the fuck.
It's okay.
Lieutenant backs up. He throws you a glance. Here, you need this more than I do.
Thanks.
I really like that hat, too. She puts it on. It's a bit large for her. You said it's supposed to be a music place. What is?
That? The boys think it could be a place, like the Palaceum or something. Stupid. It's really not gonna be a Palaceum, that's for sure.
She nods towards the church. The boys?
Yeah. Andre and the guys, they're inside, in the tent.
And why is that?
Why are you freezing out here while the boys are inside?
They got too much stuff crammed in there. No room.
Stuff like what?
Music stuff, mostly. Like this tape recorder, but bigger. And there's piles of it.
Why not just leave some of it outside so you don't have to freeze?
That stuff is more expensive than I am. More expensive than any of us, really. Doesn't matter. I can take the cold.
I had some other questions.
Go ahead.
Tell me about this music place you've been planning in the church.
It's supposed to become, like, a club. For anodic dance music. Like that new style of synthesizer stuff they play at the Palaceum. Except that... yeah.
She looks at the old wooden church up on the poles. As a mean wind comes bellowing in, the 6-story structure lets out a doleful shriek.
The floorboards are twisting, and the shooting beams are slowly cracking, like bones. Far east of the Golden Delta, beyond the industrial port, there is a black patch of unlit coast with the smallest creatures on the ice. There will never be a club for anodic music here. Not in a million years.
What is anodic dance music?
You know, anodic, cathodic. Music that's made with electronic instruments.
Electronic instruments? Like what?
Synthesizers and tape consoles. Microcomputers too. Anything that uses electricity, but isn't guitars. Also found sounds, stuff like that.
You see clear, beautiful, violent flashes of light. Light cutting through a smoke-filled darkness. That is what the future will look like, if it ever comes.
So you want to turn the church into a club?
I know. It's not my idea. Andre and the boys found the place. It was supposed to be deserted, but now they can't even take it.
She nods towards the sloping mass of wood on the coast, then shivers.
Hey, you two are cops.
Her black eyes widen. Yeah, why do you ask?
Okay, well, maybe you could talk to Andre and the guys. Because there are some strange things going on in that church. If you're police, you should look into it, right?
I'll talk to them.
They're inside that thing there. Would be cool if you did. Was there something else?
Did you put the padlock on the church door?
No,
No.
not really, no.
So this isn't yours.
It's Noid's.
So is Noid a friend of yours?
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Why did this Noid person put a padlock on the church door?
To keep more weirdos from getting in. Fucking Martinez. I'm sorry. It's got the worst weirdos. If you get around to it, ask Andre about them, he'll tell ya.
She rattles her teeth.
Should you? Weirdos. Sounds bad somehow.
Enough about the church then, I had another question.
Go ahead.
You seem surprisingly comfortable with being questioned. Why is that?
Well, it's just questioning, right? You're just questioning me. It's what cops do.
Have you been questioned before?
Once or twice, yeah. I'm sorry I haven't had the Revachol experience they get east of the river.
What's east of the river?
Rich people. Rich people are east of the river.
I bet they're really rich. They must be very special people to be so rich.
Oh, they are. And I'm scum.
You're not scum. I'm scum too.
She nods apprehensively.
So what trouble have you gotten into with police?
The usual. I had a shitty run as a teenager.
What's the usual?
You know, drinking, getting into fights. The ugly stuff that happens when you move out your parents' place at 13. In Forberg.
Wait, what is in Fallberg?
Is this a rhetorical question?
No, I literally can't even remember the most basic terms sometimes.
Faubourg, not in Faubourg, is a massive banlieue south of Jamrock Quarter. It is the largest ghetto in Revachol, possibly the world.
And why did you have to move out when you were so young?
My dad was a drunk. Plus, I guess, I just wanted to drink too, you know. Get my party on.
Drinking, partying, and disco music are bad for you. You should take me as a warning example.
She nods very cautiously.
Okay, I guess we go for it, huh? You got lucky with that 17% one earlier, right? We can get it.
The device is still warm from
Nice.
her touch and heavy as a brick from the batteries inside. The company logo, Omicron, adorns its yellow plastic cover. Inside, the tape is rolling. The girl looks at the device in your hands.
I'm sorry you have to sit here on the ice with the drugs wearing off at your age, or at any age, in this weather, waiting for it to get dark.
She looks you in the eye, her pupils wide, surrounded by a ridiculous amount of makeup.
The people who built this world intended it to be better for you, but they failed. It's easier to live in their failure with this by your side.
The wind howls. She remains silent. It's real. Tell her.
It's not a childish fantasy. It can be a real weapon against what's coming for you now.
What is?
Oh god, that's hilarious. Oh, you could just ruin everything, just make it a contact mic thing. Oh god, that's tempting. Oh. Nothing if you got this. Don't be scared.
Okay, I'll stick to it.
Her teeth rattle. She takes the device from you and places it in her lap. I'll stick to it.
Something changes between you two. She looks at you differently now. As an equal. A fellow human being.
So thanks, I guess, for the psych session. Maybe I can return it. What's been eating you, officer?
Eating me? It's nothing eating me.
Come on, I can tell. But, okay. Be a boy-a-dero about it if you want to.
I guess there is something that's been making my life hell.
What is it?
Wow. No. People just keep putting their selfish interests ahead of the greater good.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no one understands that sometimes you've got to make sacrifices for the sake of progress, and it's all very distressing.
So, the thing that's been eating you is the slow pace of social progress?
No, that's probably not it, is it?
No, it sounds like you just got chick issues.
Could be right, but I don't know for certain.
Well, think about... Anyway, was there something else?
That's it for now.
Okay, bye.
She turns her attention back to the recording device. Alright, now we gotta put a new hat on. I really like that orange hat. We even have another hat? Can we just go to like the hat area in the inventory? No? I don't think that we have another one actually. Well, just walking around hatless without our without our mutton chops. This is someone's home away from home, just like yours.
The tent is just tarpaulin fabric covering a pile of stuff. The flap is open. Inside, 3 young men are listening to some new form of music. It's like nothing you've ever heard. One of them looks at you.
Come on, get in and close the flap behind you. The warm stuff's getting out.
It's safe to assume this is their leader, or at least he thinks he is.
You know what? We'll go ahead and squeeze in.
Sorry, we barely have room for one.
You go ahead. I'm too old for this.
I'm actually not, he thinks. I just dislike delinquents.
Same.
I'm sure you will feel right at home. I'll keep watch.
Gestures for you to squeeze in. Alright, yeah, I fit right in. Smells like sweat and laundry detergent, plus a trace of ether. Groupie l'ange, or I don't know if that's how you pronounce that or not. Engine starting fluid. Canisters filled with what appears to be water. The label says distilled. A speaker, the big kind they use for live music. Pile of nasal sprays, brand name Nosefed Ultra.
A young man with peroxide blonde hair holds up a Harman Welshi tape player, nodding along to the music. He looks at you with a knowing smile and says, as though you're supposed to be sharing some tremendous evangelical secret.
Hardcore!
Is it?
It's hardcore!
You're just gonna keep saying it's hardcore, aren't you?
Skibbity, skibberdanger. I am the rearranger.
You just say skibbity? It's just like real life. I have no idea what people are saying to me.
Your cop training did not prepare you for this. What to do? Could there have been a right way out of this garden of forking paths, you think? You see, youngish man, bleaching the tips of his hair with a toothbrush. He puts the toothbrush down and extends his hand in greeting.
Hello, I'm Andre. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Shake his hand.
His grip is strong, sweaty, and warm. He's trying to project and inspire confidence.
This is my posse, Noid.
The young man with earrings looks at you suspiciously.
And Egghead. Egg!
The tape player high above his head continues to blast what is probably hypnotic music.
Together with a Settle Burger, who's out there right now, doing some seriously progressive sonic experimentation, we like to think of ourselves as music venue organisers.
Wait, how many music venues have you organized?
We have many in the pipeline, officer.
Why are you here?
You see, we've been all over Jamrock North, prospecting for real estate to establish a new venue in.
Also for talent.
Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while there is no shortage of raw, unfettered talent spinning tapes in Jamrock, we've had rotten luck with the real estate part.
Place is a shithole.
I apologise for my friend Noid's potty mouth. I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. He has authority issues.
There's no need. The place is pretty bad.
Which brings me to the problem of occupied ecclesiastical property. I bet you've noticed the derelict hive of narcomania on the coast.
An attempt to pander to your perceived conservative sensibilities. No person his age would ever use a word like narcomania with a straight face. Don't fall for it.
Enough histrionics. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the church, and I'm not exaggerating. Even a place of spiritual refuge can become a magnet for all sorts of dopeheads and burnouts if left unattended.
Dopeheads. Burnouts.
He angrily spits on a screw and then starts cleaning it.
Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about to put Martinez on the map with one of the maddest dance clubs in Jamrock. Nah, strike that. In Reversholt.
Strike that. The word.
And sadder yet, because the dopeheads and burnouts holed up in there are the worst kind.
He leans back a little, watching you with a steady, serious gaze, letting you imagine just how bad those dopeheads and burnouts really are. Good. This calls for an opinion. You're an expert in those.
I feel like you may be laying this on a bit thick. What's so bad about these dope heads and burnouts?
They're spooky.
What exactly do you mean by spooky?
I was hoping you would be the judge of that, officer. All I can say is, their spookiness is the kind that keeps us from restoring this church into a community centre and a place of spiritual refuge.
Also, they don't eat or clean the building. Shit's gonna collapse. People just wanna spin tapes without them spooking it up. Place has bad signs. No one can dance like that.
Thank you, Egghead. So you're gonna look into it, right? It should be a police matter. Getting them out. Whatever spooky stuff they're doing, I'm sure it's not what the Ecclesiastes meant their property for.
I'll look into it. Tell me more.
All right, man.
Andre's obviously very happy you took him seriously. The whole tent is. The boys exchange giddy looks.
The cell told me Noi put a padlock on the door. Why?
Oh, so you met her. Good.
He's not as glad as he would like you to think. There's concern in his voice.
I did ask Noid to install a measure against more drifters wandering in. It's a temporary fix, just something to contain the situation.
I had to do it in an hurry. Not my best work, but it should hold for a while.
I need the key.
Of course. Noid, give the officer the key.
All right.
The speed freak dips into his belt pack and produces a yellow key. He then makes a sudden, cool infused move, tossing it in your general direction. Be the cool cop. Catch the key as it flies towards you.
It's as
Fuck.
if time is frozen somehow. You think you can sense the key moving in the air. Yeah, this is going to be way cool.
Don't ruin the cool by overdoing it. Raise your hand in front of your face with minimum effort.
Blam! Straight in the eye. Straight in the old eye orb. In the looking ball. Man up. It's nothing. Pick the goddamn key up. Put it in your pocket and move on.
Ow, goddamn asshole. What is wrong with you? Can't you see I'm in pain now?
Man, I'm I'm super sorry. That was totally my bad. I got overexcited. Threw him too hard. I'm sorry.
He looks like he's genuinely sorry he didn't throw them better.
I'm sorry. You almost murdered me. A cop. That's use of lethal force.
I really am sorry, man. Just take this, okay?
He pulls out some black paper from his belt pack.
Wow, looks like there's quite a lot there.
You know what? That's the least you can do.
I hope that settles it. Or wait, the key?
He cautiously hands you the yellow key ring.
He is shifting in his spot, uncomfortably, still feeling sorry for the mishap.
We were talking about the padlock, I think.
How long have those people been locked in there?
Not long. Like a week, maybe?
How can you be sure they haven't starved to death?
I'm super sure they're alive. I mean, come on. I'm at least 90%, maybe 85% sure they're still alive.
Somewhere in the ruinous past that led you here, there was something called exams. You may have learned the term involuntary manslaughter there.
Andre, do you know what involuntary manslaughter means?
Yes, I do. I listen to Channel 8 all the time. I know about crime stuff, and I assure you, officer, this is not what's happening here. I'm at least 80% sure they're alive. I mean, come on. Most people aren't ever that alive in their entire lives.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. What does anything mean, really?
Oh, yeah.
He looks at his friend with an expression of profound understanding. Sounds like a bunch of bullshit.
You're right. It is nonsense. Total garbage. I knew you'd see through it. You're one smart cop.
It feels good to be the smart cop, doesn't it? That's a good cop to be. Has a nice ring to it. Smart cop. You wouldn't want to be stupid cop, now would you? But still, maybe he's just sucking up to you.
You can stop buttering me up now, thank you.
Oh, okay. I won't do that anymore.
Right.
Sure, man. Tell us what you want to know. Let's do it.
Who exactly are these people inside the church?
Truth is, I don't really know. None of us do. I don't even know how many there are. All we've seen are glimpses.
You haven't even seen them, and you want police involved.
Well, there's also the machinery.
This machinery is of the deeply mystical variety.
When I first scouted the place, back in February, it was abandoned, empty. Took some time getting the crew together. So about 2 weeks ago, we came here hoping to set the stuff up. Suddenly, there are all these strange machines lying around in there.
One of them has wires running into bowls of water. Wires into water. Never seen anything like it.
Andre, tell him about the feeling.
Oh, and it felt like there was something in there with us, watching us from the dark.
No, the other one.
Which other one? I'm not as in tune with my emotions as you are, Egg.
Felt like silence. Awful silence.
For this man, even regular silence is awful enough. But that was something greater.
But you haven't physically seen anyone.
Not exactly. We've just seen someone who we think is a woman go in and out of the church. A couple of times. And we felt someone or something eyeing us inside. But that's kinda it.
The woman, red hair maybe? A lawyer woman?
Sure, why not? Yeah.
But not really. Brown hair. Old. Heavy, dark signs.
So which one is it?
What Noid said.
So brown and older, Ruby might have dyed her hair, though it seems like a stretch at this point. You have to see for yourself. These people are not reliable.
What was that about something watching you?
Like, you aren't alone, you know?
It wasn't quite human, if you know what I mean.
Non-human means a predator.
It was this dark shape climbing upside down along the ceiling, like some kind of crab man.
A crab man?
Yeah, you know, the way it was climbing up and around the ceiling, like a crab.
It was stalking a cell, exhibiting ambush behavior.
Odd. Crabs are usually marine creatures and not known for climbing walls.
Uh-huh. Ambush behavior. Crab man.
Crab man!
Yeah, totally. I mean, I didn't personally see it, Estelle was alone that time, but I believe her. If she comes out running and says there's a crab in there, there's a crab in there.
You should ask her about it, but be nice. Don't tell her you don't believe in the crab.
The implications of this are too numerous to consider. Proceed with caution. Learn all you can before entering that dark building. There probably is no crab man. Don't let them draw you in with this nonsense.
Can you tell me more about this machinery?
You should talk to Noid about that. I just got a distinct burnout and dopehead sign from them. Probably jacked up to some snuff station too. Probably, very likely.
With a small surge of PEA, alertness fills you, as if to say, this is a dark corner. Look behind it.
Jacked up to some snuff station.
It means like one of those rich boy private radio stations, where you can listen to people getting killed on, then jerk off to it. Sick shit.
Fucking gross.
Not that we would know anything about that. Noid just likes to relay stuff. We're getting derailed here. In short, you can tell to Noid about the machines. He'll tell you more.
So how can you be sure they're burnouts and dope heads if you haven't even seen them?
Well, honestly, I can't. But I am.
Why not? Let's go with that.
I don't see a single thing wrong with that argument.
I'm 70% sure they're substance users. Don't let the technology fool you.
Alright, let's talk about something else.
Sure. What?
Let's deal with Egghead. I want to talk to him.
He's a quiet man, mostly communicates through music, and by being a master of ceremonies.
What's a master of ceremonies?
You know, a host, a declaimer of slogans. He's a performer, gets the people going.
How do you communicate with him?
Well, he's just kinda here. I don't really know how to communicate with him.
Have you ever really talked with him?
Yeah, sometimes. When I stumble and find my way into his center, you have to hear a lot of hardcore to the mega first though.
The man smiles mysteriously, choosing to let the beat speak for itself. I get it. He's a puzzle.
You mentioned some kind Ecclesiastes. I don't know how to pronounce that. Who are they?
Oh yeah, that's a meteor and name for the founding party. Thought it'd be cool to use it.
Before we go on, what do you mean by Meteorin?
You know, of Meteo, concerning Meteo.
Meteo?
Meteo, a country on Muindi, on the Muindi Isla.
He looks at you, squinting his eyes to see if you're kidding.
One of the poorest of the first world nations today, but once a great ancient civilization. Capital, Tilakos by Percentic.
Ah, the founding party. I do know them, but can you refresh my memory?
Come to think of it, I've never really looked them up, you know. I can't give you a precise definition, but they're a very powerful religious organization.
And
they have roots in ancient mass society. And they're the custodians of the Pericarnassian Church. Plus, they anoint the innocents. They, made the innocentic system, no?
well, they sound like exactly the kind who would want loud, anodic music in their church.
You're right, they do.
He says without the slightest hint of irony.
The Pericarnassian Church is about love. And Nordic music is about love. I got love for my Pericarnassian posse. Love is the relay out of death. We dance!
He violently shakes the tape player as if to see if he can break it.
Love is hardcore!
Unity!
Unity!
Make some noise for my Insulindian posse!
He turns the volume up and then looks at you with a knowing nod, as if it's obvious you will now break into dance.
You feel it. The anodes and the cathodes coursing through you. Your big toe starts tapping along to the base, as if testing the waters.
No words, enjoy the beat.
Feels good.
I guess love can be pretty hardcore.
Oh yeah, it can!
He's coming around. You're getting it.
He nods at his friend, then turns to you with a mischievous grin. You're right. How could the founding party be anything but enthusiastic? Dance music is about love, and so is the Paracanassian Church.
Yeah! Yakokata! The place to be!
He seems ecstatic that you share his vision of Pericarnassianism.
Do it for the masses. Do it for the crew.
His friend forms a fist with a screwdriver still in his hand. Provingly so.
I didn't want to say it, but it was pretty lame of you to imply otherwise. Anyway, you got more questions?
The one with the large head is still looking at you, nodding his head, waiting for your body to start moving.
Yeah! Let it out! Let the disco happen! Bring the disco into this world! Get this church shit on, and then dance there, motherfucker!
I wanted to ask you about this tent full of equipment.
Yes. What?
See, you brought your own water.
Yeah. Good to have, bitch to carry. When I first scouted the place, I did some reconnaissance. I'm not sure the church even has running water.
It's distilled too?
Oh,
He doesn't know what to say.
it's the one they sell at the fuel station.
Hate to tell you, but it reeks of sweat in here.
It does, doesn't it?
Told you we have a smell problem.
He picks up a piece of telephone cord and inspects it. I also smell ether. Why?
Ether? I don't smell ether. Do you, Noid?
No,
It's mixed with a peculiar chemical scent like laundry detergent.
He sniffs the air, then shrugs. It doesn't take a forensic scientist to guess it's drug-related. They look and act like the kind of guys who've done their fair share. Unlike the girl outside, however, the boy's breathing is regular. Their jaws stay put and their pupils aren't dilated, so they're not under the influence currently. At least, not under the influence of stimulants. That doesn't rule out hallucinogens, benzos, some depressants. How do you know all this?
What's with all the Nosafed?
The what now?
The Nosafed Ultra. You have a lot of it lying around.
Oh, the old Ultra. I have a major sinus infection, stuffy nose. We all do. Shit's all blasted up. Winter. Can't even breathe.
You sound fine to me.
Yes, that's all Nosafed's doing. Without the Noser, I'd be drowning in shit right now.
Nosafed is the shit.
Can I have some? I have some nose problems too.
Sure. Here you go, officer. The Noser. Blast away.
Get the Nosafed. But what about the engine starting fluid?
The engine starting fluid? It's for starting engines.
Is the amiable speed freak becoming a bit cross with you? Sounds like it.
What engines do you start with it?
What's with the goddamn Romangarod earrings? It's cold. The fluid's for the generator.
Relax. How's that extra high ether content working out for you? Does it do the trick?
I guess it does.
You're not completely satisfied yet.
You know, maybe that slight scent of ether I felt before is somehow connected to ethyl ether?
No idea, man.
Alright, enough.
He nods enthusiastically, no doubt a little relieved.
Maybe everything isn't quite as you've been told. Take a moment to analyze it.
A number of things don't add up. Let's
I got
take
bad news for you, Andre. Things don't add up.
What things?
He senses something is wrong.
This isn't the makings of a club, it's a tent full of laboratory equipment for manufacturing drugs.
I have no idea how you arrived at that conclusion, but it's wrong. Look, we even have speakers.
He points at the speaker.
One speaker. They have one speaker.
Where is his friend? Did he lose his friend?
What do you mean, friend?
The other speaker. You have only one.
It's a one-speaker system. It's monodynamic. You wouldn't know the first thing about sound reproduction in anodic music. Other speaker.
This may be the brain damage talking, but you've definitely never heard of monodynamic or one-speaker systems.
You have no headphones. Wouldn't the cell need her headphones to spin tape?
What do you know about spinning tape? Nothing.
That nose fed is here for its active ingredient.
He said it was for his nose. What more do you want?
Likely pseudoephedrine, almost exactly the shape of ephedrine. Ephedrine makes you happy, and so does pseudoephedrine.
Distilled water, cornerstone of a clean lab.
And of all cellular-based life, what's your point, Lawbringer?
The ethyl ether from Cupri L'Ange. Solvent, good for getting acting agent out of a solution.
Make up your mind. First it's the sweat, then it's the ether.
He smiles nervously. I guess there's no need for me to pile on anymore, is there?
No shit.
He sounds tired. Your girl Estelle is high as a kite out there. It must have been hard for you boys to keep sober for this meeting.
We don't need drugs to be hardcore.
Shut the fuck up, Egg.
Maybe not today, Egg, but you need drugs to get through the days when you're not expecting me.
Climb down from the equestrian monument, Copman. Consciousness is new to the universe. We all have our ways to ease the shock.
So does Cell need drugs more than you?
We know she has a problem, man. We're working on it. She didn't exactly have a smooth adolescence.
Underneath, he is furious she ruined it for them. This means trouble for their female friend.
I know I wouldn't be as hardcore without drugs. He doesn't know how to comment on what you just said. Bottom line is, I know.
What exactly is it you know?
In short, you tried to use a police detective to set up a drug lab.
That's... Come on, that's...
Punishable by summary execution?
It's not!
His eyes are wide with fear. So what are we gonna do with you?
What do you mean, do?
There's resignation in his voice. He's almost ready to drop the act. It wouldn't take a lot of pushing. The optimal way to go about this would be indifference. It begins by you telling him you don't care about any of this.
I don't really care. I just wanted to crack the case. Do what you want, and I'll do what I want.
Really?
Really. I wanted to talk to you about something else.
You wanted to just ask me about something else?
Or you can tell me what the plan for the church really was.
He thinks for a moment, then opens his mouth, but closes it again. Then finally raises his hands.
Things are just way too hard for an entrepreneur in this city. It's not like we're not going to turn the church into the wickedest club in East Revershall.
Because we are! We totally are!
We just got to turn it into a speed lab first.
You know, to get our foot in the door.
And why did you need me?
Like I told you, spooky arseholes moved in while I was getting all this stuff together. A month ago, the place was empty, and now it's all spooked up.
They're not really spooky, are they?
No, man. They're spooky, all right. It's just that they would also probably call the police if we started cooking speed in there.
But the sign was way off too. I couldn't feel the love at all.
So, what now?
This is it. Judgment time.
Yeah, no. I have to look into the spooker situation before I decide what to do with you.
We can continue on an amiable path, right? No more misunderstandings, no more lies. Before you go, is there anything else you need?
That's it for now.
As always, we'll be right here. waiting patiently for the news. Yeah!
Okay, we gotta ask this girl about this crab person, huh?
The shaggy-haired girl kneels on the sea ice. She looks up as you approach.
So you talked to my associates, right? Are you going to help us? With the church, I mean.
I'll help you.
Great. Let us know if there's any progress, will ya? We've been waiting for weeks here.
The others told me you went inside the church. What'd you see in there?
Oh, that. You're not going to believe me. There's no point in me telling you.
We'll see. Go ahead and tell me.
Okay. I went in and I saw a woman next to one of those machines there. Noid calls it a mainframe. She was dressed like someone who's been raised by their grandmother, you know, strange old clothes. Had this absent expression, didn't say anything, just stood still.
Go on.
And then, you know, right behind her, a man crawled down the wall. Upside down like a crab, down the church wall. I think the woman didn't even know he was there. He was completely silent. He stopped right before he got to the floor, then just hung there like that, looking at me. Right at me. I fucking turned around and walked out. End of story.
Like a crab, you say?
Lieutenant nods. His face is stone. What did this crab man look like?
It was too dark. I couldn't tell exactly.
You're wrong. I do believe you.
Why?
What would you stand to gain?
Nothing. Anyway, what else?
Look to know more about your associates.
My associates? I haven't got much to say about them.
Stans, what do you mean? You must know something about them.
Of course I do. I just don't tell people about my friends and who they are and so on. I don't provide information on them.
What about you? Tell me something about yourself.
Me? I'm a silver bird.
High above and to the east, the cold winds blow over the feathers of an early songbird. She lands on the stone ledge of a tall building, her beak a silvery grey.
Uh-huh. Okay, maybe I'll ask later about all this.
Don't know what makes you think it'll be any different later, but...
Your associates tried to use me to set up a drug lab. I'm guessing you knew of this plan.
I did, and I'm sorry. For what it's worth, which isn't much.
She doesn't appear surprised.
This is why I didn't go into the tent. Typical delinquency.
You don't get to choose your posse, they choose you. Mine are idiots, but they're mine. I tried to talk Andre out of it. I even tried not to lie to you.
Indeed, she merely tried to omit the truth instead.
Instead, you opted to admit the truth. Same thing.
I know, but I knew you'd see through their plan too. I'm not an idiot. I should have been able to control them, and I will in the future. I promise. May I ask, what did you tell them?
That I'm going to decide after I looked into the church situation.
Oh, right. That's wise. Take your time.
Anything around the back end of the building? Oh. I still really like the music, but I miss the music on the other side of the river. Some absolute bangers. Dead phone, a smashed receiver like someone hung up too hard.
A metal payphone under a yellow plastic dome. You could use it to call someone, unless you're out of change.
Someone must have worked hard to smash the plastic dome. I think there's anybody we need to be calling right this second, though, you know? You can imagine why calls become terrible sometimes. Why the receiver's broken on the one? Buzz, hum, the electricity flows through wires with audible power.
Someone has left an unidentifiable article of clothing on this railing. It smells really bad.
Take a closer look.
It's streaked with dried seagull shit and tangled with pieces of seaweed. A dangling arm suggests that there might be a jacket beneath the crust of filth. It seems likely that it was left in the surf until someone laid it out on this fence to dry out. Unfortunately, that just seems to have stiffened it into a shapeless mass.
Please tell me you're not taking that with you.
Why not?
It's a guano-encrusted jacket, and you're already carrying around enough as it is.
Fair enough. Coin-operated weighing machine hasn't been used for a decade. Vagrants have recently painted the tarp red. Water drips from it. Whose idiotic idea were square and beige plastic frames anyway? Beige is a color that does not look good on anyone. Not to mention that seeing the world through these exceedingly thick lenses feels almost nauseating. Oh, I do have a hat. Small wire framing inside this futuristic-looking fallen Pipo hat gives it the aerodynamic shape of a swoop skier's helmet, but none of its protective qualities. Covers the wearer's ears and eyebrows to bring down the drag coefficient. Wow, look at me, I look like a loser. Is your own stardom too dazzling for your eyes? Can't bear to look at your own fabulous reflection in the mirror? And these classic oversized sunglasses are for you. What do I have on right now? Flip up ones. Flip up sunglasses were fashionable in the old, but since have lost their popularity. Then gold alloy wire frames are a reminder of drug-addled bohemian artists. These days, the glasses are only favored by organized crime accountants who desire to look cool. We should just check out the church really quick before we go anywhere else. Although I doubt it's going to be like a really quick thing, you know? But we should definitely check it out before we go anywhere else. Okay. I'm actually going to pause really quick, and I'll be back in like 5 minutes. And then we'll check out the church. So hang tight, I'll be right back. Alright, sorry about that. He's back. We're gonna try to do like another hour or so, I'd say. So I guess we'll go ahead and check out the church, see if there's a crab person in here.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. The rectangular sea-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to the padlock, carelessly drilled into the wood. The lock turns easily. You hear a click as the shackle pops open. Feels like electricity and a very small piece of nothingness.
Let's go.
Lieutenant nods at you. Pull on the doors.
As you do, you hear the echo of the doomed commercial area, its black holes and dusty machines. Then the feeling passes. A great whoosh of air rushes into the dark innards of the church, as though rushing to fill a great vacuum. In the heart of the city,
Okay. Well, this is a lot, huh? A strange stillness fills you as you look ahead. You should walk here, not run. Creepy. This grotesque wooden figure looks half finished. Feels like it's trying to become one with the church. This is the eeriest place we've been so far. More of the forked lightning pattern you saw outside. The blackboard is filled with complex equations. They look recent. A prayer book has been left open. The bowl is filled with water. A live wire runs directly into it.
the silence in this part of the church, it's almost palpable. All the shifting matter and shuffling of living things is gone. Nothing seems to exist beyond the church anymore. Maybe if you were to stand in just the right spot, even your footsteps would be completely silent.
Wait, I think I still hear something.
And then it's gone. Almost all of it, but for the faintest of hums. It seems the sound here is detached from its source somehow, if not blotted out outright. Truly unusual. You can hardly hear your own breathing.
Yell as loud as you can.
Your voice is barely audible. Not a howl, but the softest of whimpers. It's unnerving.
Stomp your feet and clap your hands.
You produce a few muffled thumps, after which the silence feels even more total, somehow.
What's happening?
The lieutenant points to his ears and shakes his head. Then he leans closer.
Can you hear anything?
Almost nothing, and it's beginning to worry me.
The church just has strange acoustics, some engineering trick.
His detached tone conceals how uncomfortable he is.
What if it's something paranatural?
Please, detective, not this again.
He's trying to act dismissive, but at this particular moment, he's more open than usual to the idea of paranatural phenomena.
Look up into the bell tower.
The orderly rows of ceiling panels become barely visible, then disappear completely in the darkness of the tower overhead.
Try to see beyond the shadows.
It's like there's something moving up there. A shadow has emerged from the tower and it's making its way toward you through all the other shadows.
On the ceiling?
Yes, the darkness makes the ceiling feel infinitely far away.
All the shadow's movements.
It's not a shadow anymore, becoming more substantial as it gets closer. The shape of an animal descends.
Officer, is there something up there?
Lieutenant follows your gaze, attempting to see whatever it is that you are seeing.
Oh no, you've lost sight of it. Where did it go? Prepare for an attack.
Blink.
You see something hanging from the rafters, looking straight at you with dark eyes. Maybe it's possible to talk to it.
Okay. Hello there.
Is
This is
that
fucking
a man?
weird.
A man made of the same stuff as the carpentry of the building. He is studying you intently. The Crab Man.
Hey, who's there?
The man leaned forward a little, fixing you with a steady, unreadable gaze, then speaks.
Habitual alcohol use has made you into a scared little pussy, Holmes. But don't worry, everything's gonna be alright. You come to the right place.
What?
That accent is Villalobos, a peninsula in Mesk and a district in Jamro. There's a sizable contingent of Villalobos-speaking Mesks in Revachol.
The right place for what?
Here you can receive the mother's love. And when you're ready, she will take your hand and lift you out of the despair at the bottom of that bottle.
This man is obviously a habitual narcotics user. Do we really need to question him?
I'm put off by this religious stuff, he thinks. And maybe the ceiling climbing, too. It's all very hard to square with the lieutenant's own view of reality. Hey, and what was that about the bottle again? You haven't even drank that much lately. Lay off it already. Shish.
I'm a policeman. I need to talk to you about police things. I don't know anything about alcohol use.
Oh yeah, sure. You don't know anything about alcohol use. You got it all under control, Way. I could smell the control all the way over here.
I'm doing just fine, thank you.
I know it's hard to admit that you got a problem. I was like you once. Couldn't take an honest look into my own heart and see I was in pain.
You know, actually, since we're here, you may want to pay attention to what the ceiling climber is saying.
I'm sorry, what?
If the lieutenant agrees, then maybe, just maybe, you should pay attention. Look at these crazies. What is this? A fucking intervention?
Fuck you, Crabman! You don't tell us what to do! Tell him!
Who do you think you are? Some crazy guy under the roof? What is this shit?
It doesn't matter who I am, Way. I'm just bringing you the message of the mother's love. She don't want you to hang yourself on your own stubbornness.
His words echo in the cold air of the church.
This is the Church of the Mother of Silence. You are welcome here.
He sways gently on the beams, waiting for you to take it all in.
This Mother of Silence sounds like a serious player. You might want to be careful until you find out what you're dealing with.
You must be the Crab Man.
Never known myself to be a crab. But if that's the name you got for me, I won't stop you from using it.
To be fair, it's really more like a spider.
I always thought of myself more like a flame, flickering along the rafters and beams. It may be that I gotta work on my technique.
That's not the only technique he's working on. Look at those carved sculptures. And is that a satchel of tools over there?
Did you also carve all of these sculptures?
Sure am. Whittling wood used to be something I just did to busy my hands. Now I use those same hands in service of something greater than my own restlessness.
You're promoting the objectification of women with your reactionary depiction of female bodies.
It's all just for the mother, man. No need to overthink it.
What were you before you became a crabman and a woodcarver?
I was in a gangway, but my memories of that time are fading. Most of them are already gone.
I lost my memory too, but I kind of like it. It's like I get to create a whole new me, start again from scratch.
That's not really the point, I say. You gotta give yourself over to service. Service of the mother, that is.
Do you remember your name, sir?
The lieutenant is not particularly interested in this information. He's just trying to assert some control over the conversation.
Tiago's my name, but those syllables don't mean much to me these days. A name isn't just your identity, but also, so to speak, your place amongst your fellows, your place in the world. I ain't got no use for such a place anymore.
My name's Harrier Dubois. My place in the world is Lieutenant W. Frater.
That's just the thing, Holmes. None of that matters.
He sounds melancholy saying this, his limbs a mere shadow below the ceiling. What are you doing here?
This is a special place. There's a perforation in the world up there, a way out into nothingness. This church was built around it, for purposes of veneration. I circled it, nurtured by the silence bestowed by the mother. One of these days, I'll be pure enough to go drink from it directly.
Who is this mother of silence you keep talking about?
Oh, that's no simple question, I said. She is one who can be painted or sculpted. She is a cavity in the dark beyond sense. She saved me, but I couldn't describe her to you. No one can, Holmes, and no one ever will.
His adoration is beyond sexual. This cavity is something that no human form has.
What will happen once you drink from this perforation?
I will be incinerated, but not destroyed. Finally, I won with the state of the world before reality began.
You sure you didn't just switch one drug for another?
It's not like that at all, man. It's just faith and joyful service.
Faith is a kind of drug.
I heard that before, Way. And I know I can't convince you on the spot. But think, when's the last time you woke up from silent communion with a hangover, regretting what you did last night?
There are drugs darker than alcohol circling your system.
Let's agree to disagree.
I know it will take time. Don't sweat it.
Still don't
I know
understand
it
what
will
you're doing
take
in the
time.
church.
Don't sweat it.
How many times are you going to say that? Just twice? You sure you don't want to say it again? Alright. I still don't understand what you're doing in the church.
I'm a seraph, Holmes. I sing the mother's glory.
Can you sing for me? Sing for me something.
I ain't from no Marietti, if that's what you're thinking. And the song I sing is silent as the mother.
Marietti is a mesque style of music and dance, commonly seen at all manner of festivities, especially weddings. It's delightfully quaint, owing to its peasant origins.
How did you even find this place? This church?
Hard to say. I think I did some construction work here, back when I still had material worries. Up there, I realized what the true purpose of the church was. Been spending a lot of time here ever since. The past is nothing to me now, Way. It didn't belong to me.
Right, I have other questions.
The sinewy figure lingers on the wooden beams, blending into the shadows.
You've been here a long time. Do you know why the church was abandoned?
police raid a while back.
He responds, his voice suddenly flat.
Did you witness it?
Not really. Or at least I don't remember much of it anymore. The mother's love has done its job. That's what's so great about the mother. It lets you forget about everything.
It looks like he truly doesn't remember. There's a vagueness to his sense of time.
Some ravers want to turn this place into a nightclub.
The ones in the tent outside? Right? I see them. Guessing they're the ones who call me a crab. Probably scared of me.
Wait, do they have a reason to be scared?
Nah, man. They look pretty funny. And I don't harm no one anymore.
Though he used to, a long time ago.
So what do you think? About the nightclub, that is.
Why not? They wouldn't bother me none. I'm usually way up there, imbibing. Ain't no music on earth that can reach where I go. Might even be nice to have some company.
He said that in spite of himself. He's more attached to the human than he'd like to think.
Do you know where the other spooker is?
Other spooker? Oh, esa viejita es muy estudiosa. Don't know, Holmes.
Wait, so there is another person living in the church, and it's a Vieta?
No. I just call her viejita because of her clothes.
Viejita.
She's actually quite young. Or maybe not that young. Age is just one of the many masks we wear.
Wait, what if it's Ruby?
Did it ever seem to you like she was hiding here from something?
Lieutenant seems to be thinking the same. He takes out his little notebook.
You mean like a fugitive?
He glances at the abandoned radio computer on the other side of the nave, pulsing with light. Then he shakes his head.
No, man. Quite the opposite. I don't think she cared much about authority or anything else for that matter. Maybe only about her machines.
I see. And where is she now?
I told you, Holmes. I don't know.
How can you not know that when you both live here?
Don't really follow her comings and goings. Just see her typing on her computer now and then. We got different interests.
So you've got nothing else to tell me? How she looks, what she does, who is she?
I'm afraid not, Essay. You just have to wait until she comes back, or...
He shrugs.
Or search through her radio computer.
Okay then, thanks. I like how they call him Crabman because they can't call him Spider-Man. Frost has drawn flowers on the glass, obscuring the view. A figure drawn in frost on the window depicting a deer. Miss Banger's silk scarf. What do I have on my neck? The necktie? It's your friend now. The necktie is adorned with a garish pattern. It's disturbingly vivid. Somehow you feel as if it would be wrong to ever take it off. It's your friend now. You will betray it if you change it for some boring scarf. I don't know. Might have changed it out for a boring scarf. Just to hear it bitch. Cracked pane of glass. Colorful. Spider has spun its web around this wood-carved pillar. Got some shoes.
Another radio computer.
Oops.
And this time it's already turned on.
He seems cautious around the machine.
These machines sometimes harbor traps, he thinks. Alarm systems and the like. Let's be careful.
We should leave. I doubt this place bears any connection to the case.
Yes, but this machine looks just like the one in the doomed commercial area.
It's also quite similar to the one we have down at the station. Must be the same model.
He inspects the machine's framework, careful not to touch anything.
The one you saw earlier was the Ream Civic. This is the Ream Prefect, a model number RC7024, equipped with a Feld mainframe and a Ream-compatible interim printer. The Ream Prefect is the governmental version of the commonly used Ream Civic model. Although mostly based on the same technology, the Ream Prefect is equipped with better noise attenuation circuits.
Let me just
You
investigate
see
it.
fluorescent play and print buttons on the keyboard. A hatch connected to the central compartment is wide open. The lieutenant says nothing. You see the machine's glowing frame reflected back from his diamond-shaped glasses. You're free to proceed.
Look inside.
Behind the hatch sits a cube-like crisscross of filaments, smoldering in the dark like fireflies. Silver tape on the side says, in black marker, log, February to March. Another filament memory. Press play to talk with the repeater.
Press play.
The speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. An old lady greets you. Her voice sounds 100 years old.
Good afternoon. Votre accident on Saint-Brune. This is the East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the personal log?
It's the same old woman you spoke with through the radio computer in the doomed commercial area.
Yvonne, it's me again. How are you?
Good, thank you. Please repeat. Is this the personal log?
I looked inside the core, but the tape on the filament just said log February through March.
Good. Please repeat the password.
Let's look around. There's no use trying to guess the answer. Maybe he knows something.
Is it my birthday? No. I don't know.
Received. Votre accident. Is there anything else I can do for you? Goodbye, votre accident.
The machine's keyboard is still
That's probably not good, is it? Portable Harman Wowshi tape recorder. Is it possible it's recording something? Two decks of reel-to-reel tapes spinning on empty.
The machine's keyboard is still
No.
illuminated.
Didn't want to do that. Come on. Pop up again, please. Alright. Cold wind blows in from the broken gallery. Makes your skin crawl. Alright. Do you know the password, Tiago?
Oh, hey, Wei. There's coffee in the back. Oh, wait. I meant the mother's love.
Okay, I fucking can't with you, buddy. Have you by any chance heard the... I forget how to pronounce it already. Vegeta? Say the password to a radio computer?
Too many times, essay. You need it for something.
Honestly, I just want to break into a radio computer and see what's on it.
Don't sweat it, vato. The password is afterlife death.
That is true. But what comes after death?
What you think of that? Makes me almost pity la niñita pequeña when I hear it.
Okay, thanks.
I think we're done here, essay.
I figure crawls off into the darkness above.
That was an interesting conversation. However, I'm still not sure whether we'll find our suspect here.
Me either.
The machine's keyboard is still the speaker.
Good afternoon. Votre accident.
Let's try this again.
Good. Please repeat the password.
Afterlife, death.
Good. I have unlocked the filament. After ending the call, please press print to access the filament. Votre accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
Fortress accident, like the one in the Doom commercial area.
I have 2 machines registered to this company name in Martinez. One on Saint-Brune, the other on Rue de Saint-Ghislaine.
Saint-Brune, that's the church. And Rue de Saint-Ghislaine, that's the Doom commercial area.
Anything else I can help you with?
Nope.
Goodbye.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated, revealing
Press print.
the printer prints out a long text document with dated paragraphs. It looks a bit like someone's journal.
Read it.
The first entry, made on the 4th of February, 51, by an unknown author, is short and concise. Arrived at the church. The door was boarded up, so I used the crowbar to get inside. Looks like the place has been deserted. Nothing out of the ordinary, but I'll ask around. Need to figure out how to get the electricity in. The lieutenant leans closer, scouring the printout over your shoulder. Just as you finish reading, he looks up, muttering under his breath.
4th of February. That's over a month ago. Whoever set up those machines has been here for quite a while.
Do you think this log might be connected to the case?
Our case? No, I don't think so. It must be some local eccentric.
His eyes wander to the various machines around him. Read the second entry.
6th of February, 51. Had a little chat with the local fishermen. Said I shouldn't go near that place, that the church was spooky and ridden with narcotics. It's a little spooky, all right. Still haven't figured out the electricity. See? Even one of the spookers themselves says it's unnerving. What was that about narcotics? This could prove to be interesting.
Wait, narcotics?
I doubt that we can find any. It's just idle fishermen's gossip to scare away the kids.
He looks at the stained glass window.
Nothing spooky about this place either. It's just abandoned and cold, and in an awful part of town.
Read the third entry.
7th of February, 51. Finally got the electricity in. Next on the agenda, a new antenna. I'm thinking Esca series, something advanced.
Why would she need an antenna?
Why would anyone need any of this equipment here?
He steps on a wire running on the ground, inspecting it with his boot. Read the fourth entry.
8th of February, 51. Bought the antenna. Had some problems setting it up. Called Simon for help. Heard the others are back to making art. Drinking somewhere out of town. Sulislav started a rock band again. Lexi has been seen asking money from strangers. But at least the artists have their act together. They're qualified labor. They can get work anywhere. Graphic design, ads. The programmers are doing fine too. I mean, they're programmers. The writers, though, they're fucked. I just have to find out what caused that data loss and be done with it. Still don't understand how it managed to wipe out the backup, when the backup wasn't even connected to the front. I know. Everyone thinks it's impossible. They say I must be lying. I'm here to set it right.
Data loss?
Seems like something to do with radio computers. Unfortunately, I don't know enough about them to understand what the author is saying. Something about the backup data getting destroyed, and how everyone thought it was the author's fault. Let's just keep reading.
Artists, programmers, Lexi, who are all these people?
I think these people worked in the radio computer games business, the one we saw in the Doom commercial area. They must be her former co-workers.
Read the fifth entry.
12th of February, 51. Brought some food from the grocery store. Apparently, there's a strike going on in the harbor. Definitely not happy to see the Martinez people again. Everything's now set up in the church. Going to start working tomorrow, 8 a.m.
The strike. We are nearing the date of the murder. Keep reading. I'm interested now. I want to know what's that radio anomaly that sent this person here in the first place.
25th of February, 51. I've been sending data up to Lintel for a while now, trying to recreate the data loss, but nothing. Didn't even feel like logging in, the disappointment. But I did discover a curious audio-spatial anomaly at the back of the church. I've named it the Swallow. It swallows sound. Need to get some mics.
Is she talking about?
Lieutenant looks to his right towards the silence.
28th of February, 51. Yes, the first recordings confirm that the Swallow is real and I'm not just losing my mind. It's a pillar of silence with a diameter of approximately 3 meters. Seems like the higher I go, the less I record. This might be a coincidence, or it could be connected to the data loss that led me here.
The pillar of silence. She is talking about the silence. Is she suggesting it's more than just an architectural quirk?
But what could it be?
The lieutenant doesn't answer. He follows your gaze, studying the basins. The water shines in them. No ripples.
Read the 8th.
March 51. Some kind of young disco men have appeared next to the church. I've been trying to record the silence to find the epicenter, but now it turns out I've also been capturing the future of dance music, one neo-disco song over and over again. Fortunately, the song is so monotonous, I was able to devise an algorithm to factor it out. The other day, one of the disco men came in. Before I could even say hello, she got scared and left. Good, I don't want anyone distracting me from my work.
She must be describing a cell.
The girl on the ice? Sounds like her, yes.
March 51. I got a call from the repeater station. Someone has tried to access the radio computer in our old office in Martinez. Can't do anything about it. The storekeeper still doesn't want to let me inside the building. Thinks I'm part of some kind of curse. How Martinez of her.
That's me. I was the one who broke into that radio computer. And the storekeeper must be Plaisance.
I knew it wasn't a good idea to meddle with that machine.
No. It was a great idea. You're learning things. This is how you learn things about machines. March 51. A new 2-meter aux cable. Noodles. Crackers. Ping energy drinks. Water. Toothpaste. Gum. Also some canned air. It's interrupted by the sound of the church door opening. A strange woman makes straight for the radio computer.
Oh.
Breaking into my radio computer, I see.
She glares at you as she holds down the off button for several seconds. The machine reboots.
I do apologize for the intrusion, madame. We are with the RCM, you see.
We're not just breaking in. I'm pursuing a mysterious lead, searching for my lost identity.
You won't find any answers from here.
She barely looks up from the keyboard. You hear the machine whir back to life.
It's just me and my computer, and it has been this way for weeks. Now please give me some room. I need 2 seconds to see that you haven't destroyed anything.
We should talk to her after she has rebooted the machine.
Oakley dokley. We'll wait. Someone's siphoning electrical current from outside into this antenna.
In white, silver, and apricot faience, the young mother of humanism stands above you. A crack runs across her body. She is impossibly tall, oval-faced and sad. A dark and radiant majesty. This is her innocence, Dolores Day. Cradled in her arms are a pair of glowing lungs, clearly visible from underneath her flowing dress. You should kneel.
No.
Cold wind seeps in from the crack in the glass. Snowdrifts cover the floorboards at your feet. Above, you feel her multicolored eyes on you, inspecting you, as if under a microscope.
No, I am not your bug.
As that bitter thought passes through your head, the lieutenant draws an X-shaped cross from shoulder to shoulder with 3 fingers.
I'm not doing that cross either.
Good call. She left us all in the shits. Don't give her a single thing. Just stand there in the apricot-colored light of the window, secretly grinding your teeth. The woman smiles her distant smile, unmoved, struck in half by the crack in the glass. Serves her right. She only cares about her sovereign's orb and her silk robes and getting to the aerodrome on time. To leave.
This is Dolores Day.
The old woman in the village was right. This must be the Dolorian Church of Humanity in Martinez, or the small Pinewood Church in some records.
You knew of the place?
It's a minor landmark, not easy to find. Most maps misplace it. It was built not long after Revachol's founding, 300 or so years ago, by first-generation settlers.
On the coast of an uninhabited archipelago where only animals had roamed before, in the wild reeds.
What else do you know?
There used to be 7 stave churches on the coast. Les Sept Sœurs, they call them. The 7 Sisters. Only one remains. The rest were burnt in the revolution or used for building materials. We should be respectful here, although the building appears to be deserted. I do not believe we'll find the instigator here. Something else, perhaps?
He looks at the machinery lying around.
There it is again. A small pang of guilt. It's time to ask him what happened here.
Do you know why it was abandoned?
I have a theory, yes. There was a police raid a while back. I heard the place was shot to pieces.
Oh.
The old woman in the village was being tactful with us when she didn't mention it. She has more respect for the RCM than many around here.
Who conducted this raid?
Well, your station was involved, I hear. Although I can't be sure.
You're not sure?
3 precincts were involved in the raid, and people say Precinct 41 was one of them.
I guess I could have been here.
I'm sorry, I'm not saying you were. It was a clandestine operation. I don't know anything about it, why it was conducted or who participated. I try not to pry into extra-district matters.
If I was here, I should find out what I was doing.
Good luck. You will not get information on a confidential operation from your station secretary just by calling. If you really don't remember, it might be better to keep this one forgotten. It happened a while ago. It's unimportant to our business in Martinez now.
How did I know this is the mother of humanism?
It's a mystery.
Oh,
a mystery
really?
Sprinkled with self-pity and regret. For some reason, unknown
Missed
to
the
your
83%
mind, looking
one?
at her delicate eyes makes you feel like you're ready for drowning. All you know is, this is the young mother of humanity, and that you should go. Do something else. Escape her sad, worry-worn look.
Let's try the 17% one. Maybe we'll get lucky.
Jigsaw
No
broken
fucking shit.
shards falls into place in front of you. A ghostly reconstruction of the stained glass window. Before it was shattered, there was an older woman beneath the younger one. And a text. A light motif below them both.
What shattered this mosaic?
Unknown. Something during the raid the lieutenant mentioned. Or just hooligans looking for something to break.
Who is this older woman?
The escutcheon on her throne says, Irene the Navigator. She is depicted as an older woman wearing thick-rimmed eyeglasses, holding a golden rights apfel in one hand and a scepter in the other. This is the queen her innocence day advised. Above, she herself is whole. Small figures of wise men, common men, worshippers walk up the stairs to stand at her feet. Secret servicemen, 30 years, stand in a row guarding her. It must have taken years to produce this work in all its dizzying detail.
The motto? What does it say?
Below both women, in luminous black letters. Après la vie, mort. Après la mort, la vie de nouveau. And then, along the left side, après le monde, la gré. Après le gré, le monde de nouveau. After life, death. After death, life again. After the world, the pale. After the pale, the world again. This is the great leitmotif of humanism, a summary of the effect of the discovery of this isola, the Insulindian, on human thinking. A tremendous sea change akin to finding life after death. Could these words be the password that unlocks the filament memory?
Well, we already figured that out. Just used to say afterlife, death after.
Death, life again. After the world, the pale. After the pale, the world again. This exaltation is common in Dolorian sacralism. In the early years, it was even incorporated as the RCM slogan. No more, however.
Why?
It was deemed subservient to use a strongly moral intern-related motto. We already suspected of bootlicking. The sentence was also seen as too feminine. It was a macho thing.
What is the RCM motto now?
Justice, union, prudence, and force.
Holy fucking shit. This fucking game, man. Shit that you can say in it. Jesus Christ. I like the other one better.
So do I.
Huh. Glad we can agree on that.
The mother of humanism towers above you, a wax painting on a cracked pane of glass. Nothing has changed in her expression.
Alright, I wanna get it. Oh, we can't level it up. That's fair. Can we talk to her yet? You done rebooting your computer?
What is it?
I didn't break anything, did I?
No, you just printed out my personal log and wasted some paper.
It does not look like a big loss to her. Are you the lead programmer of We Are All Untethered by any chance?
Yes. Or no. Not anymore. That project is dead.
She doesn't seem surprised to be recognized. Rather sad. Something passes over her face before she straightens her back.
Sorry, but who are you? What are you doing here?
I am Soona Luukkanen-Kilde, the former lead programmer of Fortress Accident and RSA radios. I have over 16 years of programming experience, and I'm proficient in both Vox and Orbis languages. If you're not here to hire me, I don't really know how I can help you.
She turns back to the terminal.
Did she say over 16 years of experience? She must have started programming when she was still a teenager.
Have you seen the Crab Man?
Nope.
But you know he's around?
Yes.
He's seen you.
And?
And? The Crab Man has seen you.
I don't care. I don't care about crabmen.
She barely looks up, now tinkering with the machines around her.
Wow, she really doesn't. Not afraid, this one.
Have you seen anyone suspicious, say? A woman named Ruby?
What? No. No one's suspicious around here.
Why are there so many machines in this place?
I brought them here. These are my machines. Please don't touch anything.
Why do you need an antenna?
I use the AR-1 as my RAIM prefix processing unit.
RAIM Prefect? That's your radio computer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then antenna is its processing unit?
Yes? You really don't know anything about radio computers, do you?
Not really. I don't really know much about anything in this world, to be honest.
All right. Well, all radio computers perform operations up on air. So in order to gain more processing power, you need to invest in a good antenna.
What's on air?
On the front, the unified front of radio waves, licensed and controlled by Lintel in the East Insulindic region. It's all around us. That's what on air means.
And the AR-1, is it a good antenna?
I guess it is. So far I've been quite satisfied with it. Martinez is an unstable region with bad coverage and the operation has been surprisingly stable. But it's not the cheapest one on the market. So I wouldn't recommend it for your regular red tape operations. Fraser 1000 is a foolproof line for civilians. Anyway, you should do some research before you decide to buy anything. Ask around, compare the prices. There are many milieus dedicated to that sort of thing.
She liked telling you this. It calmed her nerves.
What are you doing with your radio computer?
I'm working.
The machine seems almost alien with its pulsing core. The light casting her face in a strange shadow.
Working on what?
Could you just shh for a moment? Or get to the point. I really need to focus on something.
It's not just rudeness. It really is hard to concentrate on whatever she needs to do. And you're not helping.
What about those bowls of water over there?
They are connected to my RAIN prefect. Whatever you do, just please don't move them, okay? Thanks.
Isn't your Ream Prefect radio computer made exclusively for the government use?
So you do know something about computers. You're right. Prefect is used mostly by the government peeps.
She looks up, almost proud of you. And you work for the government?
No, I don't.
So why do you have it?
Because I needed something good for my investigation and RAIN Civic is widely agreed to be below all standards. So I had to upgrade. Besides, owning a RAIN prefect isn't such a big deal anymore.
No, actually, it is kind of a big deal. You don't see Ream prefects in every police department, for example.
How'd you get your hands on it?
I know a friend of a friend who used freelance for the Coalition. I was actually aiming for the military-grade RAIN Rational series, but couldn't find one. Prefect is mainly based on the same technology as RAIN Civic, so it's kind of a rip-off. But it does have better compatibility with newer antenna models, so I won't complain.
Alright, next.
Great.
What are you doing in an abandoned church?
You really like those questions, don't you?
There's a hint of amusement in their tired eyes.
They're bloodshot. She really hasn't been getting much sleep lately, has she?
I need to make sure you're not hiding anyone here.
No, I'm not. It's just me and the crab man. I'm just doing some research, that's all.
What research?
I'm looking for the location of a 2mm hole in the world.
Wait, what? She's looking for a disruption in the radio waves. That's what her personal log said. The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything.
Is the hole connected to the data loss in your journal?
Yes, that's what led me here. But I suspect it might be something a bit more complicated than that.
A hole in the world, what does that mean exactly?
Exactly. What does it mean? Up to now, it has been impossible to say what it is because it's impossible to measure nothing.
There's something frantic about her as she locks her gaze with you, eyes shining like pearls.
What do you think it is? What qualities does nothing have? How do you measure something that does not exist?
She's suddenly absorbed in the conversation, waiting for you to answer.
Easy. You measure it by the world around it.
You measure it by collecting data on its surroundings, on that which does exist.
Exactly. Very true. That's what I've been aiming for. That's why I have those basins. I've tried using hydro transducers to record the silence, to find out where it begins. But honestly, it's not progressing very well.
She grows silent, staring at her circle of basins. It looks like some sort of ancient ritual.
But does it have anything to do with necroplasmic life forms? Ghosts.
Does it have anything to do with
Everyday
ghosts?
parlance.
Ghosts? No, I don't think so. I don't believe in ghosts.
What about other supernatural entities?
I don't believe in them either.
What not many know is necroplasma exists.
Great. What are we talking about? And why?
She gets back to work, a clear signal that this branch of conversation is over. Do you have any idea where this hole might be located?
Somewhere underneath those roof beams, I assume.
She looks up, eyes trying to pierce the pitch-black heights above, but without much success.
Only a faint crisscross of rafters can be made out from the dark, most of the tower disappearing into the shade. Strange things may flourish in the dark.
Why there?
There's this place at the back of the church, a place where all audible vibrations seem to decease. I've named it the Swallow, and the higher you go, the less you record.
The Pillar of Silence? Are you sure it's not just an architectural quirk?
Maybe, but it's oddly close to the physical coordinates of the data loss that led me to this place.
This is where the Crabman lives.
I know.
You don't think Crabman might be somehow responsible here?
No, I don't.
She sounds mildly annoyed by this line of questioning, her hands typing hundreds of commands into the machine.
You said that the research isn't going well. Why not?
Because it's just trial and error, trying to locate the Swallow, the exact point in space. And I don't have a... You know what? It would be really helpful if you could just stop talking and let me work.
That's all I wanted to know about the scary 2mm hole in the world for now.
Great. Thanks.
Alright, so I gotta wrap it up. This is the time that I have for it tonight. So we'll go ahead and save. I don't think that I'm going to be hopping on tomorrow, but if I happen to have a little bit of time, then I'll hop back into this tomorrow for a little chill stream then. But again, probably not. I'll probably the next time I'll be on will be a Tuesday night. And it'll be for the late night horror stream with Evil Within. That'll be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Tuesday it'll probably be 10 o'clock, 10:30. Wednesday it'll probably be closer to 11 or so, maybe a little bit after. And Thursday it'll be closer to like the 10 o'clock time. And then of course FromSoft Friday with Elden Ring next week as well. We had a couple of different areas that we were exploring, and then maybe we'll get around to fighting Mesmer. And then, Souls Like Saturday, Liza P will be finishing up, or not even finishing up, but we'll just be exploring Rosa Isabel Street more. Had to cut that short last night because I ended up having a really, really bad headache. And, yeah, I ended up just having to sleep for like 10 hours. Something I never really do, but I did last night. Oakley dokley. If there's anybody still hanging out and lurking, thanks for hanging out. I hope it was entertaining. I hope it was just, yeah, something for you. I always like having anybody here, so yeah, just thanks for being here. And maybe I'll see you again sometime. This has been A Boy Named Sue, coming at you live straight from a baked potato, and I will see you around.